Happy day, students. In our last class, we were solving this problem in which we were calculating that how much will be the effective distance in air between the two charges if one portion is covered up with dielectric. Okay, so we completed the entire thing, but only the answer was this thickness T. When we are going to find the equivalent distance in air, we got this. R air is equal to x root k, where x is the T here. Okay, the distance up to which the medium is there. So T root k. So equivalent distance in air becomes T root k, which we have put over here. This is T root k in air. And in air, remaining portion is given as R minus T. So total distance in air becomes R minus T plus T root k. So the force becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R minus T plus T root k whole square. Okay. Let us see a few more problems. There are certain problems involved with the balls suspended with the strings. The questions we have done similarly, but not with the different medium. So how the questions will be, let's see. Suppose that two balls are there, we are suspended with the strings of length L. Okay. This charge is Q, mass is M. Here also charge is Q, mass is M. And let's assume it's in equilibrium at an angle theta. Right? It's in air. The moment this is in air. Now suppose we are changing the air into some medium. Okay, some other medium we are bringing in place of air. In air, this angle is theta. Now in this medium, what will happen to the new angle? Suppose in this medium, the angle becomes theta 1. So option is theta 1 greater than theta, theta 1 less than theta, theta 1 equal to theta. What's going to happen? Now as we studied, when you are going to put the two charges in a medium, the electrostatic force of them gets decreased, right? So here in earlier when we are talking about this theta was what actually? If you remember, we have studied tan theta was electrostatic force between the two charges by mg. Yes or no? Okay. In medium, what is happening? Tan theta 1, let's say Fe by k by mg. The electrostatic force becomes 1 by k times, and we know that k cannot be less than 1. For air, k is 1. For vacuum, k is 1. But for any other medium, k is definitely more than 1. So if it is more than 1, what will happen to the electrostatic force? Electrostatic force is going to decrease, whereas mg remains same. Okay? Is that clear? So theta 1. So this ball will come closer because theta 1 is going to decrease. Okay? So theta 1 will be less than theta. This will be our answer. Alright. Let's see a few more problems. What kind of problems are asked? Very common problems are there. The common problems are, if suppose that the two balls are making an angle 2 theta between them in air, when we are going to put them in certain medium, okay, then what is the condition going to be? I'll explain you. See, these are the two charges. Okay, charge is Q, and the density of these metal balls, let's say 1600 kg per meter cube. Okay, this is the density of metal balls. In air, this theta value is 30 degrees. Okay, this is inserted into a medium, a liquid. Medium is a liquid. Okay, liquid of density 800 kg per meter cube. Okay, the system is inserted into a liquid of density 800 kg per meter cube. Okay, angle remains same. Angle remains same. Find dielectric constant of the medium. That's the question. Okay, how to do? Basic thing that we know about these kind of system. 1 tan theta equal to F by mg. Right? In air first. We're talking in air. Okay, so this is 30 given. So tan 30 mg equal to F. That's our first equation. Second equation, what they are saying? Still angle is 30 degree only. So again, tan 30 equal to, but this time F will become what? F by K. So put F by K. What will happen to weight now? Will it be mg or less? Less. Why? Because buoyancy force is also acting. So mg will be acting downwards. Buoyancy force will be acting upwards. So what you will do in this case, we are going to write this as V into density of the ball. V into density of the ball becomes m into g minus buoyancy force. Now buoyancy force will be what? Again, this is a metal ball, so fully will be inside. So it will be acting on entire volume. Okay. So this will be V and rho and g. And here also we will change this m into V into d. Okay, here also V into d. Alright, this we have. Now from here, you can take V and G common, and this tan 30, I am going to put this value, F by VdG. Put it over here. F by VdG equal to F by K, taken common Vg, this is D minus rho. F cancelled, Vg cancelled. Okay, so K equal to what? K equal to D by D minus rho. Okay, what is D? D is given as 1600. And what is rho? 800. So 1600 by 1600 minus 800. Answer is 2. Okay, so these kinds of questions are asked commonly. Okay, either they can ask you K value or they can ask you the density of the liquid, anything they can ask you. Okay, but remember that this is how the method is, and this is the simplest and easiest method to solve it. Okay, so these are the questions which we have to do when it is told to us that charges are kept in some other medium other than air. Okay, now let's do uniform charge distribution. Okay, I'll show you what it is. In a uniform charge distribution, how to find the force. So suppose we have a rod. There is a rod and there is a uniform charge distribution over it. We say lambda coulomb per meter is the charge distribution. Okay, what is the heading? Uniform charge distribution. Okay, so this is a rod on this one. Lambda coulomb per meter is the charge. Its length is L. Okay, and we have another point charge over here. That's Q. Let's say at a distance of A from this rod to this end. We have to find how much is the force exerted by this rod on this charge. Will there be force or not? Yes, obviously there will be force. This is positive charge. This is also positive charge. So there will be force, no doubt about that. But first thing is, what is the charge on the rod? What is the total charge on the rod? How to find? You must have done similar thing in when you have calculated center of mass and moment of inertia. Okay, same way. This is lambda coulomb per meter. So what will be the charge on this one? The charge on this is lambda L. Okay, because this says this is a lambda coulomb per meter, and this is how many meters? L meters. What is the length of this? L meters. So total on L meters, how much will be the charge? Lambda L. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand? It's similar to if suppose that I say that 2 chocolates are in 1 rupee. So how many chocolates are there in 10 rupees? What do you do? 10 into 2. Okay. Same way here, Lambda is the charge on 1 meter. So on L meters, how much? Okay, 1 meter has charge lambda. So L meter has what charge? Lambda L. Okay, so total charge on the rod is lambda L, and here charge is Q. Both are positive charges, so obviously there will be force of repulsion between them. Correct? But now how to find? Because this charge, we don't know where it is residing. Okay, so can we take center of charge like center of mass concept? So we can take the charge over here, and then we can calculate the effective distance between them and calculate the force. Correct or not? We know that center of charge will be where? At L by 2 distance. So what will be the distance between these two? A plus L by 2. So can we calculate the force like that? Answer is no. Why? Because there is no concept like center of charge. Center of mass is okay, but center of charge, there is no concept like that. Okay, so we cannot assume anything like center of charge. Okay, then what to do? According to the Coulomb's law, force is defined for 2 point charges. So the question is, can we have point charges in this one? Can we divide this rod into point charges? Yes, we can. How many? Infinite. From this end to this end, I can cut it into infinite point charges. So what we have to do then? We have to find the force due to all those infinite charges, and then we have to add it. Right? And this method in mathematics is called what? Integration. Okay? We have to calculate the force because of each of those infinite charges throughout the length, and then we have to add it. What is that method called? Integration. So for integration, first we have to find the point charge. So take a point charge here, a very small. Okay, put this distance as x. So from here its distance we have taken as x. Charge on this one we will assume as dq. Okay, and its length very small, it has to be dx. Okay, so now I am going to write the force due to this dq on this q. Will it be repulsive or attractive? Repulsive. So force is like this. Then similar dq I can take here also. Correct? And this dq will have what kind of force on this q? Repulsive again. So we will just add all the forces because their direction is same. Okay, if the direction is different, then again we can think about that. But at the moment direction is same, so we are going to add it. Okay, so let's see what is the force due to this one. It's 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, take this as dq because otherwise same charges will be there. Okay, so q dq by x square and integration. Why integration? Because this is the force due to one only. We have to have all those along this, and then we have to add them. That addition process is only called integration. Understood that? Write it because of one and integrate that. So integration. Now here what is this dq? dq is the charge on this small portion. So what will be charge on this small portion? Lambda dx. Like you said that charge on the rod of L length is lambda L. So charge on the rod of length dx. How much? Lambda dx. So put it over here. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q lambda dx by x square. Okay. Now from where to where we have to add the particles? We have to add the particles from here to here. Okay. So what will be the distance from charge q? From here to here distance is a, and from here to here distance is a plus l. Are you able to understand? Because we are finding force. And for force, what is required? Separation between charge and the other charge. Right? So when the charge is over here, separation will be a. When the charge is this, separation will be a plus l. So here is a and here is a plus l. What is the integration? This q lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught, this x to the power minus 2 dx. Its integration will be what? Its integration will be x to the power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. Okay, this is minus 1, this is x to the power minus 1. So minus, this minus I am taking outside, q lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught, and x to the power minus 1 I am writing as 1 by x. So what we have, a and a plus l. So put these limits now. What's going to come? Let's see. F equal to minus q lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by a plus l minus 1 by a. Take this minus inside. Q lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by a minus 1 by a plus l. That is the answer. This is the force exerted by this rod on this charge. Okay, is that clear? Let's see further then. An example in which you can have force in such a direction that in which you have to break it. Okay, let's see. So we are going to take one semicircular rod. In semicircular rod, how to find the force? Let's see.